You know how every year Samsung says, "This is our most powerful Galaxy yet"? Well, this time they might actually mean it. The Galaxy S26 series isn't just another upgrade. This could be the moment Samsung turns everything around. And weirdly enough, it's not even because of the phone itself. It's because of the chip powering it. So here's what's going on. According to a new leak from Korea, Samsung's gearing up to mass-produce their next big chip, the Exynos 2600, in November. And if you believe the early numbers floating around, this thing could be an absolute monster. Apparently, it's 6 times faster in AI performance than Apple's A19 Pro, the one inside the iPhone 17 Pro. 6 times faster. And that's not all. We're talking about a 15% jump in CPU speed and up to a 75% GPU boost. Those are the kind of numbers that make tech reviewers drop their coffee. Even when you stack it against Qualcomm's latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 Elite, Samsung's claiming around 30% faster AI performance and almost 29% stronger graphics. If any of that's true, it's not just an improvement, it's a comeback story. Because let's be honest, Exynos hasn't exactly had the best reputation. For years, Samsung's chips have been the weaker twin to Snapdragon. But now, it looks like Samsung's finally learned from its mistakes, and they're making some big design changes to prove it. For the first time ever, the modem isn't built into the main chip. Why does that matter? Because it frees up space for the CPU, GPU, and NPU, meaning more power, less heat, and better efficiency. Combine that with Samsung's new 2nm process, and we might finally be looking at a chip that's not just competitive, but dominant. Of course, Samsung's had its fair share of issues with chip yields in the past, basically making these tiny chips without breaking them. But early reports say things are running smoothly this time. If that holds true, Exynos might be ready for redemption. Now, that's just half the story, because there's another twist that makes the Galaxy S26 lineup even more interesting. Its secret codename. See, every Galaxy S generation has one. The S24 was called Eureka. The S25 was Paradigm. And the S26? It's called Miracle. Yeah, Miracle. Insiders first spotted names like M1, M2, and M3. No one knew what the M stood for. Some thought it meant momentum. Others guessed modern. But it turns out, Samsung actually meant miracle. And honestly, that says a lot. It's like Samsung's quietly admitting that what they're building isn't just an upgrade, it's something they didn't even think was possible a few years ago. Now, earlier reports suggested there might be 4 versions of the S26, including a Pro and an Edge model. But new info says Samsung's ditching that plan after the S25 Edge didn't sell too well. So, they're going back to the classic lineup, Base, Plus, and Ultra. And here's the interesting part. Samsung's still sticking to its dual-chip strategy. Depending on where you live, you'll either get the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 Elite or the new Exynos 2600. But the Ultra, that one's expected to use Snapdragon globally. No compromises, just pure flagship performance. And that brings us to the big picture. If the leaks are real, and if the numbers are even half accurate, then Samsung's 2026 lineup could actually live up to that miracle name. Because think about it, a reborn Exynos chip, redesigned cameras, massive AI upgrades, and a focus on efficiency. It's everything Samsung's been trying to perfect for years, finally coming together. So yeah, maybe this time, Samsung's not just promising the future, maybe they're actually delivering it.